We are live. Welcome to Division 3 semifinals between Prismatic, Sunset, and Maximum. This is going to be hell of a match. A very high-stakes match in general. The winner of this match will go straight to the finals where they will meet Infinite, the winner of the other semifinal. But before we get into the lineups and give you all the action, let's go into the recent results. So I have Dermo with me here as my co-caster. What's up?
Yo, what's good, boys and the girls?
And actually, Dermo is the captain of IF, the team that won the semifinals, and is going to be appearing in the D3 finals. So, how are you feeling?
Yes, the stakes are high today. See who we're playing in finals here. Both of them will be big matchups for us. So, just hoping to see a really fun match today.
Yep. So, tell me about the IF matchup versus 07. How did it go?
Yeah, that was a tough one for us because 07 they had a great season, to be honest. A really unexpected season. Everybody going into it thought 07, they had some decent players, a few Mogi players. Lewis, who kind of didn't really get into MI's main lineup, but it turned out they had the best bagger in the division, and Lewis turned out to be one of the best runners in the division by far. So they gave us a great matchup, and we definitely got lucky in match one that they kind of had the 4v5 us. It was unfortunate for them, but we will take those, as they say.
That's the scoop from Division 3. However, I want to point your attention to D4 results because, earlier this week we actually had the D4 finals take place between MPP and Lightspeed. And surprisingly enough, Lightspeed won the Best of 3 series 2-0. Even though it was a really close series, it was very fun to watch. And so, Lightspeed Division 4 champions, something that people would have hardly expected going into this season.
Yeah, MPP put on a great performance there. I'm pretty sure they were seeded in D5 to begin with, and then I think they got moved up maybe. I might be wrong about that, but they were definitely huge underdogs going into the start of the season, and they made it to finals against they beat LG in semifinals, who I thought was actually going to win the division, and they also gave Lightspeed an unbelievable match. So fair play to them.
Let's talk about the lineups. So I guess we can go into the PRS lineup first. What do you think of this one, Dermo?
Yeah, this is the main squad coming out from PRS right here. They've put on a good performance this season. Not spectacular, but some of these players, such as Ryder, who's definitely the main man for this team, he's put on a lot of great performances. And players like Soon and Katja, they've put in underrated performances as well. Soon, I think, had a great showing against Flow a couple of times. They beat them by like 120 in the first match, which was spectacular for them. But this is a team that can make an upset for sure, and they're gonna need to make an upset today because they're playing against arguably the best team in the division.
Oh, for sure. Now, I want to give my comment on this one because actually, this is as close to the main lineup as you can get from this team, right? But actually, if you look at the lineup, if you look at the whole roster, Ice is missing, and Ice, I would argue is like their best player. But you can't be too disappointed because you have Soon, you have Chacha, you have Nathan, you have Ryder, which are pretty much the main lineup without Ice. But you told me earlier that Ice wasn't really playing recently.
Yeah, as far as I've seen, he hasn't played in a lot of CTL matches lately. So I'm assuming he's MIA at the moment.
Yeah. So that's actually a really nice segue. MIA. MI.
Yeah.
I wonder what MI's lineup is looking like. Nice. Jose, Jack, Precision, Vespa, Monies. This is, again, just a powerhouse. This is like as close to the main lineup as you can get for MI. And in fact, I'm pretty sure this is the main lineup. This is like the dream situation for MI. Now, Jack, Precision, Vespa. I think that's the big trio for this division. I think
the Holy Trinity,
the Holy Trinity, pretty much. And Monty's pretty experienced in general. In fact, both on RTs and CTs. I'm pretty sure he's like a really good bagger, and it'll be interesting to see how he stacks up against ELP.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a really good matchup in this match because it's basically two different players from opposite sides of the spectrum. You got ELP, who's probably putting in hours of work every day this week for the last 2 weeks because that's the time they've had to prepare for this match. And then you have Monies, who has definitely put in absolutely 0 minutes of work into these bagging strats. But he has been bagging for a long time, and he's a fantastic bagger naturally.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is a very interesting dynamic here because these teams are, as you said, polar opposites. So you have MI, who is like, the veteran, the top dog, the mainstay, the powerhouse. And then you have PRS on the other side of the spectrum, who are basically newcomers, who are basically super talented, driven. They're like lions. They're not afraid to go and hunt their prey, pretty much. And they've been putting in tons of work since the beginning of last year, I would say, is when PRS was formed. Not sure about that one, but yeah, they've been making a huge progress over the last year. And it's really shown. Some of these players, Platinum and Lounge and D3 this season, the CTL, obviously. So props to them. And it'll be really interesting to see what they do against MI. If I had to pick one player who didn't fit in with the lineup, I would definitely pick Jose. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to hold his own way in this match.
Oh yeah, if it was 4 years ago, he would be the best player in this division. But of course, over time, the CTs have changed, the meta's changed, and he hasn't really adapted to it as well as some other players. But he's definitely going to make an impact today. His experience is going to show.
What do you think? Who do you think is going to benefit more from the all tracks meta?
That's really interesting because when I see these two teams, I think of two teams that just know CTs inside out. They don't benefit as much from things like communication and item play. Their main benefits come from just having really consistent lines on CTs, amazing knowledge of CTs, and just absolutely overloading the other team with top twos constantly. They will be spamming their CT picks, I'm sure. PRS have a very interesting palette of CTs that they like to pick. And MI just are good at every CT, I'm pretty sure. So I think MI will probably benefit more from the all track side. I'm actually going to say Ryder is going to MVP the first match at least. I think when it comes to MI, the points are more even, unless Vasiliev shows up and scores a lot of points, but he hasn't been playing much recently. So I'm going to say Ryder's going to MVP the first match at least.
Right. For my prediction, and this is totally just off the sake of knowing PRS and knowing what progress they made in the last year, I'm gonna go with PRS. Now, you might call me a bit biased. You might call me a bit, just doing this for like leveling the odds or something. But no, I genuinely believe PRS will win. Now, as for how large the victory margin is gonna be, I'm gonna keep it close. I'm gonna keep it there. It's gonna be super close. It's gonna be like under 20 points, all of them, all the matches. And for my MVP, I'm not decided. I'm gonna nominate 2 players. One of them being Chacha and the other being Jack. Jack, pretty much evergreen, like never rusty, never had a bad day in his life.
If you're talking about chemistry between these two teams, I would say PRS probably does have the better chemistry.
Yes, chemistry, something that's also very underrated and very not talked about. So I think chemistry is very peculiar in Mario Kart Wii because, you don't see very many examples of it. It's usually the case that in Division 1 at the highest level of play, the matches are very balanced. But then also, when you look at the rosters, it's very clear who's going to win most of the time, I feel like, personally. Yeah. Because in this season of MKPS, the last season, like summer 2020, there were the 4 titans, in my opinion. You had Ethereal, MW, KG, and Waldywogs. Yeah. And it was very obvious that these two teams are going to be, trading games back and forth. They're going to be very even, and it's going to come down to atoms. It's going to come down to like the smallest things for these victories to be taken home. And in the end, it just depends on chemistry at that point. If you have a team that's so evenly matched in running power, it's going to come down to the shocks, and it's going to come down to the team play of the individuals. Anyways, Dermo told us that PRS has the better chemistry, and we're finally getting to see it in action. Final grounds coming out for PRS.
33 minutes. Yes.
Yep. Symbolic pick for PRS, I would say. They love this track. They love to run it. They have some competent runners in the lineup. Let's see if they are going to put that to the test. And we're going to final grounds, boys. Wow. Race 1 of this best 3 series. Let's go.
You couldn't write it, boys. You couldn't write it. Final grounds being played in a CTL all track war. Like, it just never gets picked. Ever. Honestly.
Yep, and exclusively in the studio, this just in, we have the bagging POV. ELP is streaming his bagging POV, so we're going to have that on display. And actually, we see him failing the slow wheel, the bagging strat. That's going to give the MI bagger a bit of an edge here. And the race has started. We see Soon in first place, actually missing the start from the leaf pile. That's going to be detrimental. But still keeping his first place for a little bit. PRS in top 2 just by a small margin. MI is going to be putting the pressure on them very, very aggressively here as they're, sandwiching PRS pretty much. They're putting the pressure on them from behind. Soon with them some very nice driving, managed to get on the rail, extending his first place lead a bit more. Right now it looks like ELP is actually winning. I want to say, winning the bagging battle, so that's really good. And Soon has dipped down to 4th place as MI takes over top 2. And both of them actually failing cut. That's very interesting. And now Soon has this POW in 2nd. I'm not sure what he's going to use it for. Probably just going to try and target POW MI at this upcoming
that's actually a really good POW to have behind position here, because he could maybe get him on the spiral after Katja gets off here and save.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the POW is going to come now, unless he doesn't want to screw over Chacha. And here it comes, but it's a bit too late. Doesn't really affect Precision in any sort of way, but Chacha gets blued, and now it's Soon versus Precision in this 1v1 up front.
Yeah.
Tries to snipe him, doesn't connect, and he gets Retta as a result. That's Jack taking over 2nd place, and now MI is top 3. This is so detrimental. This has gone so wrong, and to top it all off, Soon pulls a TC in 4th. That's a slap to the face, and even takes it even worse. Just absolutely destroyed in shambles. And now ELP in 10th place trying to do the backwards bonk onto the ramp. Doesn't get it, but the MI bagger trying to get him in 9th, and I'm pretty sure he succeeded at this point because ELP hasn't been hitting boxes for a long time. So if I had to assume someone had it, it would be MI right now.
Yeah, this is where the bagging experience comes in for monies, because ELP's been sitting here for over 30 seconds now trying to get this wall down. It's like, you need to start.
I'm pretty sure we usually get to this wall at 1:30, so he's been sitting here for a minute now. Soon trimming up, trying to catch up. MI still top 3. If they don't get shock, if they don't get a blue, this is dire.
Wait,
and actually,
two people failed cut, but one was MI, so 3-4 is not bad.
Yep, 3. Top 3, coming down to a top 2. One of PRS also failing cut, unfortunately, so that's going to weaken the front fence a little bit. But, PRS actually minimizing the distance to first here with this with these great lines. And it actually looks like a shock did come out. I'm not sure who it was for. Looks like it might be one of MI dodging in the back. And we're going to see that now, actually, if we look in the... If Soon wants to use his rearview mirror and tells us what's going on in the back. Yeah, so it looks like Jack was dodging in the back, and a late attempt by Soon to hit him and deny him that 4th place. It was unsuccessful, and MI take the first race. That was a clean top 2, I have to say.
Yeah, that was a race it was won by PRS's mistakes more than MI's success, one could say.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
That last one was just terribly played by PRS. And,
yeah, even though MI actually failed cut, they still took over top 2 relatively quickly after PRS got blued.
Yeah, that was just the POW was too late. One thing to keep in mind is Katja can't actually call. I don't think he he doesn't call. That might have changed recently, but he does not call things. So Soon had to kind of eyeball that pay, and it just didn't work. And also getting blued like 1 second later didn't help. But
Yeah.
like things like missing the star, he lost like a second there. He could have got the shroom if he got the star, which would have given him a break in first probably.
Yeah.
And it's just the small things add up. And
I think the
Max is
biggest
like
mistake of that race was definitely Soon spamming his green at first. It was a decent attempt, I'm not gonna lie, but he should have instead tried to hold his presence in second, because his team wasn't nowhere near him. He was the only person up front, and he really needed to keep that second place to, deny them some points.
Yeah, you got to realize that when you're one of the only players up front, you got to realize that you have to stay up there and put pressure on their top spots, because if they get top 3 there, it's all over. And they're lucky that one of them failed cut, because they would have been in trouble otherwise.
Yep, and now we see GCN Bowser's Castle. This is a pretty good running track, I would say. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. This is definitely an MI pick, I would say. They're going to be trying to block that cut up, get a nice break for themselves in top 2 again.
Yep, and actually, on the other screen, we see ELP pulling a golden, which could really help him with this bagging strat over here, as he actually manages to do it and get back further way quicker than when he's did it. I'm not sure what happened there, but looking back over to the running POV, Soon taking out a few of the members of MI, and actually pulls a TC as a result. That's going to be very unfortunate, for him and us, because we have our only streamer in the back yet again. That's not very optimal.
Yeah, pulling that 6th place DC, that's just not.
And the insult to injury, the single red in 6th. But interestingly, we see MI losing all their top spots that they had early on the race. Earlier they were 5, 6, 7, but they're catching up a bit more now that ELP has lost his footing. Actually, I'm sorry. They're still 5, 6, 7, but so top 3 looks like it's super far gone. I don't think.
Am I really dying here?
Yeah, I'm not sure what brought them into this situation, but this looks really good for PRS.
That's them in 8th as well, so that's top 3 for PRS.
Yeah, that's gotta be. That's an early shock actually. That's that was on the side of MI. Yeah.
That's really unfortunate for them, because they were getting a really nice break in top 3 there. That's just something he can't do anything about, to be fair.
Oh, for sure. But ELP still on count could get the second shock, because this lap 2 shock, it was a bit of a desperation play. It was definitely to get them back into the game earlier on, and then go from there. So there's actually going to be a blue coming for one of the PRS members up front. It's going to be Ryder getting blue.
Oh, he got MI, and that was really nice.
That was really nice maneuvers by Ryder. Managing to slow down Precision quite a bit, and securing this first place for Nathan a bit more. Right now the pace of the race is definitely in PRS's hands. Very close encounter with the fireball on the side of Soon for the win, but looks like he's going to be evading death for one more lap.
Oh my god, please use your mayor.
Yeah. Streamer kind of floundering all over the place. I'm not sure what's happening, trying to take out one of the MI members in 3rd right now, as you see MI, considerably further up the pack than they were in the first lap. And actually,
it's another 9th place shock.
Another 9th place shock for MI there in 9th again.
If he can avoid, he needed to avoid. That's what.
Yep, contactless TC pass by MI Jack, as Soon loses his 3rd place, and now it's Jack and Precision. And Precision actually deserved. So if you didn't get to see what happened there, Precision actually threw a red at Soon, but it didn't connect on Soon, and it actually lagged onto Precision himself. So self-red, we love to see it. And actually, MI sneaking up into the top spots now. They're 2, 3, 4. Precision pulled a TC, so that's going to count him out of the race for now. People are just looking through these fireballs. I don't understand. What are they doing?
I have no clue. ELP finally gets the shock in 10th.
ELP getting the shock, but I'm not sure if they'll turn the race for now. That's going to be top 2-5 for PRS.
Honestly, if PRS play like that for the rest of the 3 wars, they will win 100%, because MI got absolutely unbelievable luck that entire race, and they couldn't even win.
Yep, MI top
And
3
they
4
stand
starting
as
the
well.
race, and they threw it all away. They let PRS get a top 3 break early on, and they just had to play catch up from there. So,
Yeah.
you know, even with 2 shocks in 9th, you can't really do anything about that, but they definitely tried, as there were 2-3-4s going into the last 20 seconds of the match. I'm sorry, the race, but, you know, got outclassed by PRS.
Love to see it, love to see it, love to see it.
And that level is kind of the deficit they endured race 1. You know, that's going to tie things up here going into race 3, I believe. And
Yeah, it's gonna be close, yeah, for sure.
yeah, interesting to see what they'll pick here, PRS. You know,
There's some tracks I'm sure they have up their sleeve. You know, Star Slope is gonna get picked eventually in one of these matches. I'm sure they'll probably try
and
and
if
save
Melting
it.
Magma Melee is no longer banned, it's very possible that we're gonna go to that as well.
Yeah, maybe they'll try and save some of their more icon. Oh, never mind. They're never mind. Yeah, they're
Never mind.
They're going for it.
Sticking to tradition, sticking to the formula that just works. PRS go for Star Slope.
You know, this is really not how I expected this war to start. It's like MI picking the luck tracks and PRS, but the confidence just going for their tracks. They're just going for it, man. I love to see that confidence from them.
Yeah, PRS really you know, giving it their all, giving MI a run for their money right now, and top 2 on Star Slope. That's gotta feel good.
Yeah.
You know, you've been in this position so many times. I feel like you've just solidified your knowledge, and now you're just executing like muscle memory.
Yeah.
As I say that, you know, Caster Scores soon lets us down and loses his position early on, but pulls Shroom, so it's not that bad.
Jack does get the 9th place box, which is a guaranteed bill for him because it is Jack, and he loves getting the best item possible in every position. That's how it works.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the 9th place luck for MI this whole match. You know, because they've already pulled 2 shocks in 9th in a single race, so I'm not sure how that's going to translate into the rest of the match. Anyway, that was a slick backbomb by Soon for the win, taking out Precision, and that's going to put PRS in 1-3-4 for the time being. Going into the noodle section or the spaghetti section, what do the cool kids call it nowadays?
I have no clue because I avoid this track like the plague. Oh, shot!
We see ELP on the other screen pulling shot and getting an early lead. Will they dodge Nathan in first? Let's see.
They should just hold on to this for a little bit, try and get dogs.
Yeah, they have no reason to use it. They're in the driving seat right now. You know, still 1-3-4. They could, you know, they could hold this for when the situation is desperate.
ELP is going fully forward here, so I'm assuming they're just gonna plan on holding this to lap 3. If they're gonna use it lap 2, then ELP should probably stop going forward like right about now. So
yep.
let's hope they don't use lap 2.
Not a lot of shuffling between these spots here. You know, Vesfaf just going to be holding 2nd place for MI here. If there's a blue or anything like that, they're
good pay for PRS there.
Yeah, good power for PRS. Unfortunately, didn't really have the desired effect.
Yeah, Jack
Vesfaf.
pulled the boat.
Jack pulled the bill and used it to catch up because they know PRS is shocked by now. So you know, the smoking gun was basically set off at this point, and now they're just trying to catch up again. I feel like this is a common trend. I don't want to say it's a common trend because we've only had 3 races, but yeah. Am I really giving up these timings to break away? And actually, Vesfaf I think fell off on the section.
No,
so that's going to weaken their front presence quite a bit now.
Nathan fell off, so it's top 2 for MI.
Oh, Nathan actually did fall off here. And it looks like PRS is going to be gearing up for a shock here, but soon. That was so close, but he still actually managed to get.
What is this track? This track is just so weird.
This very interesting swing of momentum here. Vesfaf getting shocked out of the cannon, losing his 1st place as PRS take over 2-3-4 right now. Nathan, I'm not quite sure what happened to him. Maybe he hit a wall by going tight, but yeah, this is going to be very interesting because the pack is much closer than it's been the entire race, and you know, lap 3, anything can happen. The shock is basically reset. Bagger sitting at the 1st set, and it's going to depend on the first contact with the boxes here to see who gets shocked.
PRS, he soon needs to be chaining the 4th. He needs to be chaining the 4th there, try and get that blue shell because that would be a top 3. He has to go for it.
Unfortunately, ELP pulling Bill, so it's very possible that Monty has actually pulled a shock here for MI, and if he did, that's going to be huge.
And Ryder just got, oh, that's a bad pow.
Oh, that's a very brutal target pow for PRS, soon actually falling off, but Nathan barely making it, I think. It's very possible that he might have gotten knocked out by the pow, and I think he did as well.
Oh, 3, 4, 5, 6, somehow.
If they manage to secure 3, 4, 5, 6 in this race, you know, it's still good, and it looks like they do. So, you know, not a losing race by much, but definitely not.
We see a shock here. Oh, I don't know if that's gonna matter. It won't matter though.
Yeah, that won't matter, unfortunately, because, you know, landing on a boost panel from a cannon. Yeah. Brilliant track design, but, you know, we gotta hand it to MI. They played that race pretty well for what they were dealt, you know.
Yeah. That was a race where MI did outplay PRS for sure. Unlike last race, like they were forced into the battle by the POW, and then Nathan just fell off for no reason.
Yeah,
So,
you gotta wonder what the volatility of PRS is gonna, you know, what role will it play later on the match? Because, you know, already 2 critical mistakes, soon giving up his second place position on the final grounds, and now, you know, Nathan just falling off at the noodle section. It's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what is this indicative of, but it's definitely not good.
So something I do want to note quickly actually is that when Jack was in first there and PRS are 2, 3, 4, and soon had the opportunity to hit 4th place boxes and 5th place boxes, you need to hit those boxes and try and get blue shell, because if you get blue shell, that is a top 2 and that is a big winning race. Even if you get TC, worst case scenario, you can slag with it and give your 2-3 a break. It is not the end of the world. You just need to be doing these things to try and get the winning races. It's so important.
Yeah, but I actually think this is a trend that we see with a lot of CT teams, especially the amateur ones, you know, because, you know, I want to go back to last week's match. Last week we tested MPP versus LG, and, you know, I was bringing up the exact same thing. Why aren't these teams chaining those mid-place boxes? Because you can pull up blue up to, like, you know, 6th or 7th place. I'm not quite sure which one, but, you know, from 4th to 6th, you have a, you know, it's open season on blue shells. You can get one for free.
Yeah.
Gotta chain those boxes, and now we're going to CTR Blizzard Bluff, and I'm pretty sure this is Electro.
Yeah, this is an MI special right here. I'm pretty sure Jack had BKT on it for a while, so it is somewhat runnable, but obviously there is like 2 or 3 big shroom shortcuts that soon will be doing with this golden mushroom.
Yeah, but the brutal on this track is just, and the off-road on this track is just brutal. Like, so many heavy off-roads, especially in the form of the snow right there, and you know, there's something that we all love, I'm sure. You know, heavy slippery road, the kind that slows you down when you actually drive on it. So that's quite bad. But back to the race, soon in first place. MI 134 right now, and it looks like they're going to try and take out Soon here because, you know, top 3 is a very powerful position to be in for MI right now. That's just taking the cut.
Safe if he can. He needs to just.
Yeah, he needs to really hold the front, you know, hold the line here for PRS right now, and gotta be scary when all of them are surrounding you right now. Trying to snipe Jack, trying to bring the fight to them right now, but unsuccessful for now. And you know, Chacha coming up in a star, that's going to bring some more running power to PRS right now.
Oof.
And you know, looking at this bagging POV, I'm not sure which bag it has to shark. It's definitely not ELP, as we see him with the star on the other screen.
I don't know why he's not going back anymore. Should be trying to compete with Money's has it. I think he's
Money's has it, but there's also a blue shell for MI, and they do get blue, which puts PRS at 1-3, I believe. So, you know, if MI has dodges, now would be a very good time to use shock.
Oh.
Soon floundering, and there's another blue shell, potentially going for Chacha. This is a very interesting turn of events. PRS in 5, 6, 7. This is not good going into the last set because, you know, MI having a chokehold on the race, they have the shotgun, they could just hold it out until the end here.
It does look like Vastaf was the one that got blued, thankfully, for PRS. So it might actually be a winning race even for PRS. I think they got first. Maybe
I'm
4
not
or
sure,
5.
but it's definitely going to be very interesting. I'm pretty sure MI got 3 of the top 5 spots there.
Nah, they got 6, 7. They got 6, 7.
Ah, yeah, okay. So 2 of the top 5 spots, and yeah, I think this is going to be just a balance race in general. Let's wait for the results here as our 2 baggers are competing for that 9th place spot. Currently, ELP winning, but
let's go.
that's the results. That's the fanfare.
1-3. Yeah, that's a really even race.
Yep, that's 2-4-5 for PRS. Very even, as we noted earlier on.
PRS
Man,
did a good,
it's a very
good
balanced
job.
GP. I'm pretty sure the deficit was like 10 to 15 points, maybe.
Yeah, they did a good job of getting out of that race without taking a bad losing race, because they were in a bad situation there with the shock, and they got two blues, but that always helps getting out of a bad situation, I suppose. But yeah, if MI gets one of their track picks and PRS get even like a good race on it, then that's a win for PRS. So, yeah.
Yep. So let's look at the scores here. Let's see what the jury said for GP1, and unfortunately we don't have updated results yet. But if the prognosis from the last race was anything to show, deficit was 5. I mean, it was very close, and I'm pretty sure this GP sum would be no less. Am I winning by 8? That's peanuts. That's nothing. Pretty much. It's pretty much tied after GP1. With MI taking a bit of a lead. But I'm confident that PRS will be able to, keep it close as they have been so far for the whole match.
I'm just wondering that race, what was ELP doing? It looked like he just kind of gave up on going backwards and just stopped at a set randomly on
Maybe
a very
he didn't know how
shock
to do the backward strat.
I don't think there is a backward strat there.
Ah.
I don't know. That was about.
We saw him sitting in 9th, and then we also saw Monty's like further back, like way further away from ELP there. So either ELP gave up or he didn't know the strat that I'm not sure even exists. But yeah, GP2 kicking off right here. I'm not quite sure what they're gonna pick here. They could surprise us with Mansion of Madness, Melting Magma Melee, but instead they're just gonna go with Cherry Blossom Garden.
Yeah, we're PRS starting 1-3.
Yeah, PRS are 1-3.
That's strange, because I thought MI got the higher seed. I thought they hosted. Maybe that was what was wrong in the first 30 minutes there. They had the host or something. But yeah, Cherry Blossom's a really good pick for 1-3-5-7. Get that 7th place golden will be real nice. What we see.
So we're going to Sahara Hideout, yeah. Tell me a bit more about this track.
Yeah, this is a nice. If you get triple shrooms here first set, then you're gonna be looking at a top 3 spot for sure, unless something bad happens. But yeah, that's what 5-7 for PRS should be going for here. Should be really trying to get those 7-8 boxes, getting those shrooms and getting into the top 2 spots.
Yep, and it looks like that this track, really showing its benefit for 2-3. The rider sneaking into first place, even though Soon started first. That's a common trend on some of these tracks. For example, Candy Coaster is a good example of this. I probably shouldn't be talking about Candy Coaster right now because a lot of dynamic stuff is happening early on the race. Soon just getting absolutely montaged right now. Getting hit by every item in the game. That's going to go in this Rage compilation. But,
just want to note, I think ELP made the Halogen strat first, so I could be wrong though. But yeah, so it looked like PRS got a couple of stars in the bottom spots there, which is not great for trying to get into the top spots for this track.
Ooh, and ELP pulling a shock the first box, he makes it back. That's got to be very good. ELP finally getting rewarded for making it back in time. Yeah, exactly. One of MI, I think that was that MI getting TC'd off the gap?
That was, I can't see who that was. I think that was PRS actually. I think they're bottom 3 right now.
Well, either way, MI in the driving seat right now, getting having generally more favorable positions than PRS right now. Yeah. Although PRS, still in 3-5, they could if they stay hot on the heels of first place. I think this is good for them.
Yeah, they still have the shock on a track where shock can make a big impact. So.
Yeah, see if we're going to see a cannon dodge or a TS, we don't know, but both are equally as effective, I would say.
Doing that cannon dodge is going to be it's good cut. It's going to be hard because
that is a really good cut for Soon, and now they can dodge 3-4 in cannon and take over top 2. That would be huge if they actually pull that off, but
I doubt he's going to wait for fourth. That's a pretty big break. So he kind of just has to go for dodging himself.
Yeah, and let's see if the shock is coming here.
Yes,
and it does. Soon dodging and cannon, going to be taking over first place comfortably, having a shroom in first. So even if the blue comes, you know, he's pretty much secure in first, but actually uses it impulsively because of a back nana by Vestfef. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was well played by Vestfef there.
And now it's just on the rest of PRS to play catch up and really, you know, keep it close.
Oh.
You know, very close to, you know, ELP potentially sabotaging Soon in first place, but luckily we're not going to see any of that. We're going to see Soon just running, chilling in first place, closing it out. And, you know, am I still in second place? Am I still in 2-3, I believe? But, yeah. Vestfef trying to aggressively take him out of that first place position, but he's going to be unsuccessful. Soon crossing the line in first place. It looks like MI is getting everything behind.
That was really well played by Soon in that race to get up into those top spots. He made Kart really well. I'm guessing he called it. I don't think eyeballing that dodge is really effective. So he did a great job getting that first place there.
Yeah, I thought he was down and out after he got destroyed by shells.
Yeah, that was
half
so
of the race, but very good comeback by Soon, securing at least that first place, which we all know is so crucial in these races where you're not going to get many top spots. And actually, it looks like first and bottom three. Yeah, that first is really crucial, actually.
Yeah, keep them within a nice striking distance on the wall. That's really important. But it just didn't look like the first set was really favorable to PRS. I think Catcher might have chained 2 stars, which is just not what you want on that track. You want triple shrooms. And I think definitely a couple of those MI players, they love pulling triple shrooms in mud spots. You know,
yeah.
Bills in 8, Megas in 4th, triple shrooms in 5. You know, that's just the everyday scenarios for MI.
Well, a bit of a combination of bad luck and just getting outplayed for PRS. You know, MI, I feel like, didn't get the credit they deserved that race because, you know, even though PRS pulled that TC and they got, you know, target shocked over the gap, but and also soon getting just destroyed by shells early on. You know, even though that happened, I still think MI did a really good job of keeping him in the back, keeping the race just basically, you know, basically irredeemable for PRS. But going into Wuhu Mountain now, this is significantly more of a luck track than Dark Matter Shrine. Fun fact.
Yeah, this track actually reminds me of Sahara Hideout a lot, where there's a big shortcut at the start of the track, and then you can definitely efficiently run the rest of it if things go your way.
Yeah, the track structure is definitely interesting, and the racing dynamic is even more interesting. If we're going to see a bit of a draft here, this could mean Soon is going to lose his first place, and actually looks like Jack did draft, but wasn't able to go the distance, and now he's just going to have to play behind, and actually trading 1-for-1 in front. Actually, Soon managing to red Jack, but Jack getting taken out by the 5th, and now Soon, you know, feeling the wrath of that back bomb, and
wow, he's having a rough time.
Just rubbing salt in the wound with these reds. Soon's got to be like, come on, man, give me a break.
Somebody DC'd, I think, which is unfortunate. I'm pretty sure it was a PRS player. So
yeah, we saw the player in 8th just a second ago, and now he's gone. Poof, no more of him. Not sure who DC'd, but yeah. Unfortunately, our streamer's still in the back. You know, we definitely want to see him up there. We definitely want to see him, you know, after that blunder of a race, last race, after they've been beaten down and crushed. We want to see them in the top 3 right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Nathan pulling a TC, so that's not going to be, like, that's not going to be super good for them, but Chacha in 3rd, and if Soon actually pulls some shrooms here, that could propel him into 4th place, and maybe they could get 3-4 here.
Yeah, they just really need to try and salvage this race here, because this is a terrible position to be in 3v4. The first set just didn't favor them at all again.
Yeah. Going into the last set here, Soon pulling in Mega, but unfortunately ELP doesn't have shock, so this is not going to change the standings too much. Yeah, this looks like a top 2-4 for MI, and, you know, really extending their lead here in race 6.
Yeah, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes, man. It looked like triple reds in 7th, Ryder DC'd in 8th. That was not their race at all. Yeah, but MI did a really good job. I didn't see exactly what they did up there, but they did a great job keeping those top spots because there is a little bit of a cut in the middle of the track, and it looked like they were kind of killing off Nathan and Catcher pretty well there.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to say this is a blessing in disguise for PRS because, you know, losing your best player in a crucial race like this where you want to come back is definitely not optimal, but at least they get to reset MI spots now with this reset being called here. So they kind of get to, you know, curb their momentum a little bit, you know, reset them a bit and you know, bring things back to even playing field at least. Although MI is going to have the score advantage now, at least 30 points ahead, I would say. And actually, it looks like not really. I grossly overestimated that. Sorry. It looks like it's going to be only like a 20-point lead, pretty much. You know, still favoring MI, but still being kind of close. So, you know, you can't really count PRS out, but you got to give it to MI. You got to respect their lead, and you got to appreciate the effort they've put in so far.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they've been putting in some great performance. I think they were a little bit shaky GP1 with a couple of mistakes. They're really relying on their luck, and they were lucky to be ahead after that first GP. But now they're kind of in the driver's seat here, and they're taking advantage of some unfavorable first sets for PRS.
True. Now, during this downtime, I want to ask Twitch chat actually what they think of this match so far. Do you think PRS is showing more strength than MI, or do you think MI is gonna just, you know, continue rolling PRS, you know, rolling figuratively because obviously it's a very close match. But yeah, tell me, are you a PRS fan or are you an MI fan? I want to know.
Let's go PRS.
Let's go PRS. That's what I'm saying. But you predicted MI, so you don't have that privilege.
No, I didn't want to predict MI, but I had to predict MI because I need to keep my 100% prediction rate on point. You know what I'm saying?
Ah, yeah.
It's probably not even 100%, but I want to keep it.
So actually, we have a bit of fan mail in the Twitch chat. Someone said they're a Dermo fan.
Wow, that's rare. Don't see many of those these days.
Bold prediction from Swampy. MI win? I don't think so. I think PRS is gonna win. I think PRS is gonna go 2-1, but they're still gonna win. You know, they're still gonna go and meet IF in the final. Well, looks like room is filling up again. 7 players in so far.
Let's hope it doesn't take 33 minutes this time.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't take 33 minutes this time. And even more fan mail coming in from IF_Snow. I'm indeed a Dermo fan. I'm a Dermo fan as well. I love casting with Dermo. I love bringing you this entertaining cast with Dermo. And, you know, you just always have a lot of fun stuff to say.
I'm an Azure fan personally, but that Dermo guy's not so bad either.
Oh, you made me blush right there. You made me a bit hot under the collar. Well, let's take a look at the inner workings of this match. We'll go to the D3 rep chat, see what's going on. Room is up. Last message 4 minutes ago, so guess we're still just gonna wait on these players to rejoin and give us more action. And I want to ask you, actually, did you watch last week's match between MPP and LG?
I watched was it the second match where was it 2-0 to MPP or 2-1? I watched the last match.
It was 2-0. It was 2-0. But
yeah, I watched the last
actually,
match.
This is what I wanted to talk about. MPP actually the second match actually went to a tiebreaker, so they played a 4th GP.
Yeah,
it was interesting, and I don't want to ask you, you know, these two teams being relatively evenly performing, do you think we're going to see a tiebreaker in any of these matches?
I think I would love to see a tiebreaker. I don't think it will go to a tiebreaker. I think MI are just too experienced on CTs at this point to let that happen, let a lead go, but it would be nice to see one. I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see another tiebreaker because that was really interesting last week.
Yeah, it was hype. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a race 16 in Geo Village. Geo Village, whatever it's called. Yeah, it was.
I think you're the first person to call it Geo Village.
It is definitely Geo Village. I don't know why people say it's Geo Village because it has an I in the word. Like, what is? It is Geo Village. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. If you're gonna, colonialize the pronunciation, maybe, but I would believe that Geo originally comes from Japanese, and if you're gonna, do the Japanese pronunciation is Geo. So
Hey, are we Japanese?
well, no, but
So
I still
why
have
do we
respect for the
pronounce?
culture.
I have respect for their culture too, but I'm not Japanese, so I'm not gonna say it like a Japanese person. I'm just gonna say Geo
True.
Village.
Fun fact, actually, Geo is from Switzerland. She is
Oh,
Swiss.
so it's Swiss culture.
Yeah, and yeah, that's a bit of fun trivia while we wait for this match one of PRS versus MI to go back underway. Currently maintenance. 6 races in, relatively even. I think MI is winning by only like 15 or 20, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, about 20.
Yeah. So for the people tuning in just now, give us a brief rundown of what happened so far.
So first GP, it started off, what was the first race again?
It was final grounds.
Final rounds, yeah, and PRS had a shaky start. MI took advantage, they got a good race, and then for the rest of that GP, PRS were definitely on top, and they were running the show, and MI needed some lucky, dare I say, 9th place shocks to get out of the hole, but it looks like MI are up to top form again now, so we'll see.
Sure. And I actually want to bring a score update here real quick. Looks like our initial estimates were way off. Looks like MI is winning by 38 to be exact.
Oh.
Going into race 7. Still a very manageable deficit, but not what you want when you're PRS.
Yeah, I definitely think PRS can bring this back though, because Woohoo Mountain was really unfortunate for them, because like getting that 8th place box is so important on that track, because if you get a golden, you can get a nice 2-3 second break at the start, and like there's a great chance of actually pulling the golden there, and Ryder just doesn't get a chance of pulling anything. So.
Yep, unfortunately Ryder DC'd, which caused this whole situation to begin with, and now players are not joining the room. What is happening?
What is wrong with these teams? Join the room, guys.
What is going on? Alright, looks like the only player left from the running lineup is Jack, and Jack, if you're listening for this, you gotta come in. You gotta come in soon, because how many people are watching the stream right now? 116! You're keeping 116 people waiting. What are you doing, bro? No! We gotta get a not like this in the chat for Jack holding us up.
Come on, man.
Gotta put
I just want to watch
the
Mario Kart. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to watch this globe spinning. I just want to see some action.
Although I have to say, that's a really nice custom Galaxy breast.
It's alright. It's alright.
Very cartoonish. Very nice change of pace. You don't really see that very often on these loading screens.
Not a big fan of custom textures personally, but soon you do you, bro.
I feel like this is one of the areas in the game where it actually works, because you don't really want to be hearing the online menu music just going. I don't know how it goes, but you basically don't want to be hearing that. Yeah, kind of like that. But yeah, that's one area of the game where you don't want to be hearing music, and you also don't want to be seeing the same textures over and over again. I actually had this great idea for a texture. I don't know how many of you guys in chat played Katamari Damacy, but Katamari Damacy is basically a game where you play as this thing, and it rolls up items, and you basically make a big ball of all the items that you're rolling up. And in that game, there was actually a screen very similar to this one, a cosmic backdrop with the globe, and if someone made a Katamari Damacy style like Earth S&S, I would pay them so much money. I would drop 100 bands on that stuff.
No way.
I'm serious. I mean, I don't have 100 bands, obviously, but I would work for that.
I can relate.
I would pay 100 bands over the course of like 10 years, Maybe with interest, if really necessary, but yeah. I don't have that kind of money. Anyways, PRS versus MI going into race 7.
100 bands is 100k, so that is the price he would pay for some nerdy Japanese game texture that nobody cares about.
That's the price of my mortgage, dude. I'll have to, if I have to choose between some custom textures in a video game in my house, you know what I'm going to be going for.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was a nice little detour. So, you're not a fan of textures, are you, Dermo?
No, I hate them.
No textures in your My Stuff?
Yeah, I just think the game should be, you know, it should be looking natural, and all stuff like, I know he doesn't have like blooper textures, but like people that don't stream could be using, well, God knows what textures. You know, I think they should just be disabled altogether, personally. I think Silver actually got a penalty a few weeks back for using a blooper texture, and they may have lost the game because of that. I'm not 100% sure, but
yes, the controversial blooper textures and the controversial sound archive edits. You know, some of that can be attributed to the RT player Barney, currently playing for MW. Thanks, Barney. Now we have a complete My Stuff ban in the lounge. Anyways, getting back to the match, Halogen Mountain soon starting in first place, but actually losing it very quick because of that. Is this track very second place biased, you could say?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but the main aspect of this track is getting some of those, you know, 7th, 8th place boxes, and if you get triple shrooms, then you are in business, because this is a track where the shortcut saves 3 or 4 seconds probably.
Yep, and we actually see MI sneaking in the top 3, taking that early advantage away from PRS. Although PRS still very close, you know, soon having these triple greens, he really needs to snipe Jack here, and he actually doesn't manage to connect, but he has another shot because he has 2 more greens.
He has to make sure he hits the box there, man. Yeah, like, the mid spot on. Everybody has shrooms. Damn.
Yeah, everybody having shrooms, everybody going for the little cut there on the alternate route. But, you know, our streamer and also Vestfef taking the alternate approach. And it looks like Chach has moved up a spot, so now sitting in second place, right behind, I think, Jack for Precision. Not sure which one that is, but yeah.
Jack, yeah, he needs to make sure to stay up there, because
and I'm pretty sure this is PRS bottom 3 right now, because, you know, all of MI is up here and we haven't seen much of PRS in the front here, so, you know, PRS not having shock either. Looking on ELP's POV, unfortunately not pulling shock just yet. Still chaining for boxes in at the set where he's sitting, and soon hitting a very close, very nicely hidden fib right there.
Yeah, that was really nice. And I'd say he should just hold on to this shit and try and pick that cut and get back up there.
Yep, and it looks like that's exactly what he's going to be doing. But also Precision going for the cut. Looks like gearing up towards it as potentially holding a shroom or triple shroom. We don't know, but going into the cut. This cut is kind of tricky. I wonder if he'll make it, but unfortunately we have to look at the bagging POV for just a second.
ELP is giving Money's 10th place boxes there, and that is not the play, man. We need to be careful about having those boxes.
Looks like one of MI is actually going to be getting out of top 3, which is going to be very unfortunate for MI. But, you know, still having this top 2, still having a, you know, less of a commanding lead, but more of a pretty good lead, of like a safe lead.
A key aspect of this track to keep in mind is that the cut is not there after, so that is why he's chaining his shrooms.
Yeah, but now, if any of the PRS are in like 5 or 6, you know, they have to be chaining for a blue here, because, you know,
they have to.
Coming up on this section with the boost panels, there's not going to be much, there's not going to be enough opportunity to catch up. Unfortunately, soon pulling a TC in 3rd, so that's going to halt their progress forward a bit, and also getting some weird air upon collision with the wall. Yeah, this is just gonna really bring an anchor around PRS's legs, so to speak.
Yeah. So that's a bottom 4, isn't it?
No, it's not a bottom 4. Looks like PRS actually manages to get I think that's 3-5-6. So, you know, still a good race for MI, but PRS, you know, minimizing the damage because they were bottom 3 early on. So I think they'll take it.
I don't know, man. I think we're about to see bottom 4. I don't think they got 3rd place. Yeah.
Like, how do you people get all these items to
Let's see the results, and I was right.
Okay.
Chacha securing 3rd, although that will be nothing more than a consolation prize at this point, because, well, what can I say? MI is just winning. MI is just kind of running away with this one right now. You know, earlier on, it looked like PRS was able to put up with the pressure that that MI was setting, but right now it looks like MI is just having all the legs up on PRS.
These are the points where PRS, like, they lose out on a more experienced team, because if they go down by 50 points, they're going to lose all their confidence that they had at the start of the match. And
oh, for sure. And another factor, as he said, is experience. You know, if these teams, if they're not in the front, how will they cope? Because we see a lot of times they're in the back and they're not even able to catch up effectively. For example, on Sahara Hideout, even though they had their fair share of bad luck, Soon was the only person who was able to effectively catch up back to the pack. I mean, I feel Chacha's the most consistent piece for PRS in this match, because obviously he's the one holding his top slots and he's the one really holding them in this. But yeah, on the whole, I feel like PRS is kind of losing out to Maximum, who are just pulling out all the stops. You know, they're just excelling in all fronts right now. And going into Geo Village, I feel like the score gap is just going to increase.
Yeah, this could be painful for PRS here if they don't stop the bleeding soon. They need to get a good race here really badly.
Yep, as we're going into, I believe, race 8. And Geo Village is a pretty interesting running track in the fact that it's a pretty good running track if you're able to break away early on, but it can backfire on you if the teams take, you know, if the teams just get you out of top slots early. Because it kind of shifts the dynamic a little bit. Now you're not the one in the driver's seat anymore. It's the other team, and you have very limited options to get back. So, you know, that's the interesting factor to this track. And Soon actually failing to get a top 2 break with.
He just really needed to.
Up there.
Yeah, he passed the
unfortunately, passing the TC to Chacha, but slowing down Jack quite a bit.
Okay, am I seeing correctly that Ryder is not in the match anymore? Did he get subbed out? Okay,
I'm pretty sure he did get subbed out.
Okay,
and Silver's actually the one subbing him in. Thank you for keeping us posted up here. Our main analyst Winter, always love him and his insight. You know, he's as much of an important piece to this puzzle as we are. You know, Winter, rarely appreciated for his great work that he does.
Yeah,
however, we have to go back to the match right now. We'll talk about how Winter is the backbone of all of this in just a second, but currently PRS in 5-6-7. Soon trying to golden up, minimize the distance to first, as always. That's really crucial right now. And people dying in the tunnel, actually. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but it allows Soon to take over 3rd place and just stay close to the top 2.
Again, it's just a terrible position for PRS to be in here, because MI top 2 in Geo Village, it's just, and
this is exactly what I was trying to say earlier. You know, if you get into the front early on, and if you take that first place, and if you, never mind, everything I said is relevant, because now it looks like there's going to be a blue shell, and now it looks like PRS actually have a shot at getting first this race, and I think that's one of MI having a TC in the back.
Monies does have the shot, though. Keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure he does, yeah. So,
Someone with the aggressive smash, and he pulls it out, getting. Who was that?
Was that possession? I think that was possession. Yeah.
Either way, getting MI out of first, and now unfortunately getting spam green. However, the shock for MI coming in play right now as Jack dodges in an 8th place bill, and the other members of MI getting shocked into boxes, but also Shroom pulling a Shroom in 6th, which means, you know, MI won't be able to catch up as effectively, and that's a good race for PRS.
No, it's not.
I mean, they were in dire straits early on, but they managed to turn it into a bottom 2 for MI, so I think that's pretty good.
Oh, did they get bottom? I think they got top 2 too, though, didn't they? Or was I tripping? Might have been tripping there.
We're gonna have to see the results here. I'm pretty sure my suspicions are correct in that MI got bottom 2, but who knows? Let's see.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
One
2,
race
3,
for
5, 6 for PRS, which is, you know, it's got to be good comparatively, but it's definitely not a thing that's, you know, gonna help, you know, minimize this 50-point deficit at this point.
yeah, over
I'm
60
pretty sure
at this
this
point.
is like, I'm pretty sure this is only winning race by 3 or 1 or something.
You know, but it was important for them to get that winning race, no matter how much it was, because they lost like 4 races in a row to +10 at least margins. So it's important for them to try and get the momentum back in this match that they had at the beginning.
Definitely, they're gonna have to pop off now. This is it's going into dangerous territory. It's only like 3 or 4 races left. You got to turn up the ante. Got to get bumped up.
One thing that interests me here is that it seems PRS are picking kind of all their best tracks here, which is a bit interesting because like in these 3 matches that you play over the course of this matchup, you can only pick a track one time. So the fact that they just picked Heart of China, one of their best tracks, while they're down 60, means they can't pick it match 2 when they're level going into race 1, you know, so.
Oh, for sure. But, you know, Heart of China has a very good and interesting gimmick where, you know what I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah.
That big cut with the crate? Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is what PRS are banking on with this pick here. PRS just kind of want to pull shrooms in bottom spots and take that box cut up front. Although there is a 30-second barrier blocking it, you can bypass that barrier and still take the cut lap 1. So I'm pretty sure that's what PRS is going to do now, and soon actually pulling a golden, which it brings them closer to that goal. But now, pretty sure PRS all in bottom spots. I think they're all trying to go for the cut here. Not sure, but let's see. So PRS lining up for the cut, and actually looks like Soon is just gonna drive off. I think that's a controller fail. Yep. Nunchuck DC, rip, and that's gonna put him so far back. What?
And Silver did the same thing, so now they are. Wait, what is?
Not a problem. We can just go back on the roof and realign for the cut and minimize all that time loss.
Fair enough, I guess. I didn't actually know that was a thing that existed, so fair play.
Yep. No controller, no problem. Soon catching up back to the pack, although considerably far behind MI, as they are top 4 right now. And as I say that, Precision actually dipping back into 6th place, kind of weakening the impact of that top 3, but Soon pulling a blue shell, which is really good, and
where's he going?
Going to the bottom route to stay safe with the blue shell, I assume, and throwing it now, that's going to go for Jack right now. And ELP actually has the shock, so this is looking really good. All the pieces are slotted in for PRS right now.
Yeah.
They just need a few dodges, which I'm pretty sure they might have, because they were bottom 3 for a long time.
Maybe Soon can call himself at a cut lap 3. Looks like Silver and Nathan are really far behind though, so they're gonna have to try and go for top 2 here if they want to win the race. Cause
yeah, and I'm pretty sure all of MI is up here right now, so you know it's now or never pretty much. As those greens are looking really scary on the side of MI, but Soon just gonna do the big cut. You know, big challenge. He knows how to do it. He's just gonna go for it. And that's a success, it looks like.
He's the man you want to throw.
Oh, actually, SFF hitting a bit of offer, which actually puts PRS in top 2. That was a clutch comeback.
Yeah, that was a nice play to get that.
I don't even need to shock, but however, we might see a shock dodging some of these bottom spots here if we have the time. I don't think so. I think everyone crossed line at this point. So unfortunately, they didn't get to use shock, but they still got top 2 from this race. It just remains to be seen what PRS got after top 2 though.
I feel like there was a bit of unnecessary, like, just going for random strat. I know he got 2nd place at the end, but and the controller fail lap 1 was really unfortunate, don't get me wrong, but it was more of a show that race than actually putting on a competitive performance. And he would have got 3rd place if Vesvev didn't fail. I don't know why he didn't go for the 3 shroom cut. he lost time for no reason there. But
I
yeah,
think
he
he just
he
wasn't
got the top
confident.
two.
I think he wasn't confident with the launch because sometimes if you go the BKT route, you can get actually a kind of unreliable launch from the roof. So maybe that's why he didn't do it. You know,
Yeah, maybe.
definitely lost a bit of time. A few seconds for sure.
Yeah, but the most important thing is they got the top two and they're still on the horse. So hopefully they can.
Well, unfortunately, they also got bottom two, so it's not going to be as powerful of a race, but still pretty good. Starting in top two, it remains to be seen what they pick, and I think it's actually going to be Halogen Highway, right?
Halogen Highway, what a terrible, terrible track. Please get it out of CTGP. I know you're on the track council. Just get it out, please.
There's going to be an update plan for this one, so stay tuned for that.
Does it make it 1 lap?
2 laps.
Oh, that's better.
Another fixes. Stay tuned for that. But right now, we're just going to have to enjoy the old Halogen Highway, the way God intended it to be.
The 7-minute Halogen Highway. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, anyway. One of my favorite tracks in CTGP, actually, visually, not gameplay-wise, but visually. This was made by Big Otto. The creator, he's the man, yeah. And he created all the volcanic skyways, which actually got removed in the Christmas update.
Rest in peace.
Anyways, that's just a bit of trivia for you. And now to get back into the race, Soon already losing his footing in second place, getting passed up by, I believe that's Vestef and who is that?
Vestef, Jose, and...
that's Jose, yeah, how could I forget Jose? We haven't seen much of Jose up until recently of the last year races, so maybe that's why I forgot, but, every player is equally as important and Soon just gets, just runs into a backflip, Didn't really expect it.
Yeah, PRS really lost these top spots a bit too easily at the start of this race. They're clawing them back now, but they really needed to try and keep that top two. But they are now top two again, top 2-4. So if they can get precision out of here, this could be really nice.
There's no invisible wall there. Soon you can't bonk it. You can't bonk against that. Yeah, Soon throwing his 4th place down the drain. Unfortunately for MI, PRS still gonna be occupying, I believe, 1-3. But it's not looking good because this track, it's possible to come back on it, and especially with shock. But currently PRS not holding shock, so comebacks are going to be much more difficult as there's going to be back reins on 8th place. Quite niche. So
I believe Monies might have just pulled the shock as well. I think he got some going backwards. So
yeah, he's going forward now, so he might have it. Pretty sure that's the smoking gun. That's the indicator that MI is in possession of the shot currently. However, they're all in the front here, so I'm not sure if they have any dodges. If they do have one, it's going to be a mega.
And if you can rely on one team to have a mega, it would be MI. Fuck this gold.
Yeah, that kind of item luck goes both ways as PRS pulling the golden in 5th. Currently Q4-5, so definitely the top spots are spread out evenly among both teams, but one of PRS actually eating backspam, which puts them down a man in the top lines. And yeah, definitely MI holding shock. ELP currently without an item, pulling a bill. He definitely wants to get the shock out of MI going into this last lap. That's the only option he has, and unfortunately losing a bit of a losing grip on the other bagger, not going to be able to get the shock out of him. But actually looks like Monty's ran to a car on the other screen, losing shock. I'm not sure what that was about. He didn't even need to run into the car there. He could have just gone forward. Maybe it was like, we don't know, but on the other screen we saw, we know what we saw, but appearances can be deceiving, so maybe MI still has shock, we don't know. It's going to be undecided until the shock actually comes. And it looks like he actually did lose shock because PRS now pulls him 9th, and that's going to turn around.
I believe that's turn.
And with this blue shell, this is going to be a power dynamic shift, and the POW unfortunately pounding the triple reds out of Soon, so he can't follow up on the combo on 1st place. But
BTS on 1st here.
Maybe, unfortunately,
no.
I think they're gonna have. I think they're gonna just dodge people in the back and maybe get like 2, 4, 5, 6.
They need to do
But-
something soon. Maybe shocking the boxes here.
Maybe. And here it is. Unfortunately, a bit late. Didn't get soon quite into boxes, but secure 2-4, nothing too crazy.
Oh, they need to do something because they're down 55 or something. Like they need to.
Yeah,
Be
they need
going
like
for
a
it to
top
yes.
3 both races here to win. Top 3-5 even. If they get 2-4-5-6 this race, I think this is going to be really good for them. But the bagger point is also quite important here, and ELP is currently in 10th.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate pay, but soon definitely could have got paid into a box if they wanted, and they might have pulled. He might have pulled more reds. He might have pulled a mega. He needed to make sure he got a box.
Again, it looks like our initial estimates were kind of wrong. PRS getting 2-4-6-8. I'm sorry. Yeah. So once again, not as strong of a race as we would have hoped for PRS, but definitely picking up from the times they were getting top 3 and top 2 forward. Yeah. So PRS gonna have to bring out their secret weapons, bring out the aces in their sleeves to really win match 1.
Yeah, they're gonna have to pull it all out, pull out all the stops.
It's not looking good for them right now, Dermo. It's not. I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm sending my prayers up there to the Lord. It's gonna depend on their performance here going to these last few races. Unfortunately, we don't know what that's gonna look like, but I hope all the best for PRS, as currently they are down, I believe,
by about 60, I'd say.
By about 60, yeah. This is not looking... They're going to have to do a top 4-9, 2 races in a row.
You know,
and
it's...
as you said, like, their main picks are all gone. Heart of China, Final Grounds, all off the table. They're going to have to rely on the likes of Color Circuit to bring them back into this.
Possibly all run coming out here for Color Circuit, maybe. That's a doable all-run track, so maybe they're going for the... I think they actually have to go for all-run, to be fair, so that is... It's not the jungle jam.
All on both races. That could be actually a good strategy, but giving up shock on some of these longer tracks might not be the play. It really depends on what track are we going to go here, and it looks like it's Color Circuit, so pretty good.
Also, noting that MI are trying to get PRS's main tracks out of the way for match 2 as well, which is a really good strategy. They see this as a win already, and they have their eyes set on match 3. But PRS are still going for it. That's the important thing. See, we see soon going for the slag. He gets him, but slagging when you need top 5 is a little bit interesting, but keeping them in those bottom spots is going to be pretty crucial. And also hoping that they don't pull shock is also going to be pretty crucial. Soon getting up into the top spots. Monies does not have it yet. Falling off his bow. We do see PRS in good spots, but position is in first place, and they really do need to pull a blue shell to get him out of there, or this match is going to be all over. A star command sounds a good box, but he needs the blue shell. Come on. I sense the blue shell. No, okay.
Maybe if one of the PRS in the bottom spots actually managed to squeak out a shock, that would have been the perfect timing, but I don't think PRS are in bottom spots right now. I think... Oh, and there's actually a blue shell, but it's way too late. Yeah, I think it was a really good race for MI again.
It was actually a bottom 2 for MI, so this is going to be a winning race for PRS no matter what, but that's just not enough. It's the match 1 secured for MI, so congratulations to them.
Yeah, that's rough. They stayed top 2, and even though PRS put it all on the line for Color Circuit, they were disappointed. And that's just what happens when you put your faith in the hands of Color Circuit, obviously. But yeah, even with the all run, it just wasn't enough. And MI are gonna be pretty much secure for match 1. But I believe I genuinely believe that PRS is going to win it. You know, they're going to do a reverse sweep 2-1, in my opinion. And that's a forfeit. You know, PRS know that this is pretty much mathematically impossible, and we're going to be going straight to match 2.
Yeah, they want to make sure that Melton Magma melee does not get picked. So they're keeping it in the locker, you know.
True. Now, what are your impressions from that match?
My impressions were they were in the match until Ryder got subbed out. I know we could be having internet issues. I don't know if they just didn't want to DC again, but they need Ryder to win this match. I don't think they'll be able to do it without him. And they were actually giving MI a great game until he did sub out. So I'm really hoping he comes back in for this match too. But if he doesn't, you know, PRS, they still have a chance. They gotta just be more aggressive, get into those top spots a lot more, and hope for the best. Really, that's all they can do.
Yeah, for sure. And I would totally agree. I would say that, you know, PRS missing the timings to break away and just run the race, just be in control of the race and set the pace, and definitely like not playing aggressively enough with items. I mean, soon, you know, we saw some brilliant item play on Geo Village and a few other tracks, but yeah, I don't think like the rest of PRS are on the same page as soon. I think they're just concerned with staying up front and not losing those top spots, but that's just not enough at this level. You know, you're competing against MI, the best team in D3. You gotta get a leg up in other ways. You know.
Yeah,
they gotta. It's gonna be pure running power. You know, MI's right there with you.
Oh yeah, if they're gonna let this match come down to running power, then MI are gonna win. You know, they're gonna, even against D2 teams, MI would favour well in the running department. They need to try and outthink them, outplay them. That's the key to beating MI, and they're just not doing that right now.